just wanted to take a few minutes to say Happy Halloween to everybody. Make sure to get lots of candy and eat lots of it. Scare quite a few people along the way. Alright, make sure to have lots of fun. Enjoy. Hey you there freaks, welcome back to NES Tips again this week. We're going to have a really tough game this week. That's right, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's definitely one of the more difficult games out there on the NES. It's also supposedly based off of the actual book, but I've never taken the time to read the book, so I really can't comment on that. But without any further ado, we'll walk out of this room and go ahead and get to going. Once you begin the game, you're going to notice that there's a couple of different enemies, Slingshot Kid and Bomber Guy. Slingshot Kid, you can just dump over his slingshots or duck him. Bomber Guy, just walk on by. Don't stop. You'll eventually get to his spider. You'll see quite a few of these in the game. They move up and down randomly, so they can be kind of tough. As you're moving forward more, you're going to come to a part where you're above, about mid-screen. Bombs will be on the ground, but they can't hurt you. But they alert cats and dogs. Cats, you can just jump over them, and dogs do the same, except they're going to run about a third of the screen and then come back at you. Pretty easy, just go left, jump over them. Just go through these parts and you're eventually going to get past the first level. Now once you get to level 2, you're going to have some birds to encounter now, and look at that, they poop on you. Ain't that crazy? And it hurts you. Wow. Anyway, you also have some grave diggers to deal with. They're sitting there digging their graves and flinging dirt everywhere, which obviously hurts you. So, just walk on by them. If they happen to hit you, just keep going. Very short level, the rest of the enemies apply. On level 3, you're going to notice that you can't just walk on by the bombs. You're going to have to walk up to the guy and walk back. They explode much quicker than they used to. You also run into bees now. They're pretty random, move up and down, left and right, all over the screen. And there's another new one, the fat lady singing. Now she really sucks. You have to get by her notes and get by her. Now you can either pay her off, or walk by her, or you can hit her and turn into Hyde. Oh yeah. I forgot we totally need to go over the Hyde aspect of things. Well, let's do that. Go ahead and stop the car. The first thing you have to know, considering the Hyde portion of this game, is that he has the exact same levels as Dr. Jekyll, except they're a nightmarish side. All torn up, beat up, levels, houses, blah blah blah. Now, if you ever reach the exact same point that Dr. Jekyll is at with Mr. Hyde, he'll get hit by lightning, game over. Definitely don't want that to happen. What you want to do is shoot all these little things by pressing up and B. A lot of people don't know about that. Well, what it's going to do is you're going to eventually get your Jekyll meter to fill up. Once it's full, you'll be able to go back as Dr. Jekyll. These little brain things there are definitely the best way to do it. As you can see, you pick up where you left off at as Dr. Jekyll. Just bear with it and keep going. If you got up here to level 4, you're doing really well. Just keep your game face on for sure. And we're about to go to the second hardest level in the game. Get ready. Let's get this vehicle moving again. One of the things that makes level 4 so difficult is everybody is out to get you now. So you really got to work on your dodging skills, as that's all you can do, since the cane only hurts bees and helps you turn into Hyde against the big ladies. Speaking of which, that's one of the main things here, the big lady with the birds dropping from the sky. And birds trying to poop. Pretty crazy, huh? And if that's not enough, there's more than one. You may want to go ahead and hit both of them so you can get your energy back in the Hyde level. When you get towards the end of the level, you're going to have another section with everybody trying to attack you. At this point, you really have to be good at dodging. If you're not, you're going to end up getting turned into Hyde, plus losing a lot of your life energy besides the meter itself. It's a really tough part in the game. It's not as bad as the 6th level, which we'll get into later. Level 5 itself isn't going to be too bad. All you really have are your bees, birds, bombers, cats, diggers, and your dogs, and what level would be complete without the big lady. Not too tough, really. Now, level 6, that's where you're going to have all your problems. I'll tell you what, you haven't seen barrels like this since Donkey Kong. They're horribly hard. It's unexplainable until you've played it. And while that's going on, you got bombers, and it happens all over the entire level. It's a true test of dodging, and it's so hard to explain how to get good at this part. Just try your best. It's generally going to happen to you that you're going to end up dying and continuing. It happened to me quite a bit where I would just turn into Jekyll and automatically all my life would be gone, and I'd have to continue. Yeah, it's not really my favorite part. But if you happen to get through it using all the techniques I described, you'll get to the end of the game. But wait, there's more. There's actually a Hyde ending, where if you use Hyde and get to the end of the game, you get a better ending. The Jekyll ending isn't really that great. What you want to do is find a spot like this and just keep getting bombed. Let him drop the bomb, walk a little bit away, and it'll drop your Hyde meter more than your life meter. You'll generally only have 2 bars of life gone. And you can do this over and over again to keep going through as Hyde. Because on the last level, Hyde goes to the rooftops and can't get hit by lightning. Doesn't really make sense, but hey, it helps us get a better ending, right? That's what we want. When you get Hyde to the rooftops, you're going to notice, first off, how glitchy it is. When you encounter anything that's above your knees, you are forced to jump. But make sure you don't fall in those pits when you jump. Those little spike balls will come up behind you too, and just nail you in the back of the head. So you want to try and get about mid-screen, and then when they come up to you, jump over, shoot them. There's also going to be enemies that appear lower, but you generally don't have to worry about those. They're not going to pose any real threat to you. Now, when you start to get towards the end, you're going to be on that part that looks like where Jekyll just was. It's right at the end of the game, so when you see this, you're pretty well set to fight the boss. Yeah, you get a boss on this ending. Pretty cool, huh? It's actually the most enjoyable part of the game, I think. If you noticed just a few seconds ago, your entire Hyde meter was dropped down when you got to this boss. So the whole point is to destroy enough of him to where your Hyde meter builds back up. Standing to the right, jumping and firing fireballs is your best bet. When you turn back into Jekyll, there's something awesome. No enemies. Just walk to the right to the end of the game, and you'll get the best ending. And that wraps it up for another NES Tips episode. Thanks for listening. Just try really hard on this game. It takes a really long time if you can sit through it. That's half the battle right there.